top stories tonight in Y News. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. signs the controversial Maharlika Investment Fund or MIF bill into law. The local government unit found multiple violations of the contractor of the cold storage facility under construction, which collapsed in Antipolo, Rizal. The International Criminal Court Appeals Chamber rejects the Philippines' appeal not to continue the investigation over the war on drugs of the previous administration. And Russia announced a suspension of its participation in the Black Sea deal over previous complaints of being prevented from exporting its own produce. Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Tuesday, the 18th of July, 2023. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am William Theo. First in the news, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. signed the controversial Maharlika Investment Fund or MIF bill into law. The president signed the bill in Malacañang Palace with members from both the Senate and the House of Representatives in attendance. Nel Maribohok reports.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. signed the measure creating the Maharlika Investment Fund or MIF, which economic managers regard as a vehicle for economic growth, and despite concerns raised by other groups. The President stressed that the Republic Act No. 11954 or Maharlika Investment Fund Act of 2023 is a bold step towards the country's meaningful economic transformation as the Philippines recovers from the ill effects of the COVID-19 pandemic.
For the first time in the history of the Philippines, we now have a sovereign wealth fund designed to drive economic development. Through the fund,
the chief executive assured the public that the fund will be managed by highly competent personnel with a good track record and outstanding integrity. He also assured the public that the MIF would not be utilized in purchasing luxurious items.
I note that some of the objections that very early on was there, I would hear some people commenting and saying, hindi ba kung may pera tayong ganyan, kung may pondo tayong ganyan, dapat ilagay yan sa agrikultura, dapat ilagay yan sa infrastructure, dapat ilagay yan sa energy development. Saan nyo kaya iniisip na ilalagay yan? Bibili kami mga magagarang kotse, bibili kami yung malalaking yate, yan pa yung iniisip ninyo. That's it makes me laugh because that is so far from the truth.
The MIF is expected to have at least 75 billion pesos in paid capital, with 50 billion pesos sourced from the Land Bank of the Philippines and 25 billion pesos from the Development Bank of the Philippines. The fund will be invested in a wide range of assets, including foreign currencies, fixed income instruments, domestic and foreign corporate bonds, joint ventures, high-impact infrastructure projects, and others. Nel Maribohok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Meanwhile, media entities who will cover the second State of the Nation address or SONA of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. are now setting up its technical productions inside the House of Representatives in preparation for their coverage on Monday, July 24. Denis will tell us why.
To deliver to the Filipino people the entire events in the upcoming second State of the Nation address or SONA by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., media entities are now setting up its technical productions inside the North and South lobby of the House of Representatives. According to House Secretary General Reginald Velasco, media who will cover the SONA are allowed to interview guests and personalities who will attend the event.
And every session thereafter, we will allow the media to be there before the session will begin. I'm also arranging course subject to the approval of the Presidential Communications Office. Other areas where you can congregate and interview the personalities. Of course, do sa entry, no? South and North Lobby, you can be stationed there and talk with the guest members of Congress. Yun lang, you'll have to call their attention kung gusto niyo siyang ilang interviewin, no? Kasi magka-clog yung red carpet pagka nag-stop sila.
During the media coordination meeting earlier held at the House of Representatives, House said that reporters can cover and interview lawmakers before and after the opening session at the plenary. While the Presidential Security Group will conduct a clearing at 12 noon inside the plenary on Monday to prepare for the SONA proper. Meanwhile, according to Velasco, the Radio Television Malacanang or RTVM will be handling the whole production program of PBBM's SONA.
The RTBM will take care of it. In other words, yung mga veterano nila, sabi nila kayang-kaya nila yan because these people, yung RTBM staff, all the events, no, where the president is a main guest or keynote speaker, silang nagko-cover, so they know what to do.
HOR said RTVM will also begin its setup tomorrow, while on Thursday, July 20, House of Representatives will begin the lockdown of the Batasang Pambansa. Janice Inhente, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
In other news, various militant groups are ready to participate in the protest action on Monday, July, coinciding with the second State of the Nation address or SONA of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Around 50 progressive groups are expected to participate in the nationwide protest, which they said as larger compared to the protest activities done in PBBM's first SONA last year. Their protest action will be called the People's SONA. At 9 o'clock in the morning, the different groups will start their program inside the Quezon Memorial Circle. At around 11 o'clock, all groups would start to gather together, then march to Tandang Sora. Right there, they will do a program together from 11:30 in the morning until 1:30 in the afternoon.
Alam ng QC Police ang ating programa, so wala tayong ina-expect na harangan. Sana walang hulihan at sana igalang yung kalayaan sa pamamahayag ng mamamayan. So maayos po ang ating coordination sa traffic, sa paglilinis ng kalsada, sa daloy ng programa, wala dapat mangyaring aberya.
Ang aming nagkakaisang panawagan sa araw na ito, dagdag na sahod, kabuhayan at pagkain sa mesa. Itigil ang karahasan, kapakanan ng masa, hindi Maharlika.
Meanwhile, the contractor of the cold storage facility under construction in Antipolo City, Rizal, that collapsed last Sunday evening was found guilty of violations based on the initial investigation of the local government unit. Alan Manansala will tell us why.
The local government unit or LGU found multiple violations of the contractor of the cold storage facility under construction in Vista Grande site, Barangay Santa Cruz, Antipolo, Rizal. This is also based on the initial inspection conducted by the LGU in the area where the landslide occurred. According to Enrilito Bernardo Jr., Public Information Officer of Antipolo City, the contractor of the project, Marinas Corporation Builders Incorporated, must be held accountable.
Ang ating Office of Building Official is yung absence po ng site engineer na per project kasi dapat meron talaga silang nag-guide doon, so nag-oversee ng construction. So wala po silang nakitang site engineer doon sa area. Tapos ano pa po yun? And yung pong mga protocols like yung pagkakaroon ng logbook sa site. So dapat meron po siyang protocol na kailangan po nandun yung mga nilalag.
Cracks were also found in the retaining wall or fence that fell on some of the houses in the area. Prior to the incident, there were alleged leaks of a mixture of water and mud, which the residents saw every time it rained. Because of this, the Antipolo local government has issued a work stoppage order to the contractor. The construction is temporarily suspended while an in-depth investigation into the disaster was being conducted.
Actually, nag-issue na po ang Office of the Building Official ng work stoppage order. So, tigil muna sila doon habang iniimbestigahan nga po yung pangyayari. Kung paano nangyari po yun. So, as to that aspect po talaga, ano po tayo? Subject for further investigation pa siya.
Marinas Corporation Builders Incorporated Standing Representative Mr. Ray Mendoza appeared in the area but did not make any statement regarding the allegations.
Off muna tayo sa housing, hindi po parating dumarating yan. I'm sorry.
However, he granted continuous assistance to the residents affected by the incident. Alan Manansala, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
And for the news abroad, Russia is withdrawing from a crucial grain initiative with Ukraine, raising fears of global food supplies. Annie Reyes will tell us why live. Good evening, Annie.
Good evening, Kathy. Russia announced on Monday, July 17, that it will suspend its participation in the Black Sea deal over previous complaints of being prevented from exporting its own produce. The deal, brokered by Turkey July last year, allows Ukraine to export its grain with an aim to supply countries in need. It was officially set to expire on Monday. Russia President Vladimir Putin said that the main objective of the agreement has not been realized, complaining that Russia has faced obstacles with its own food exports. United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken accused Russia of using the deal as a weapon, with prices of grain all over the world expected to go up, and people in vulnerable regions to be most affected. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov hinted at the possibility of reviving the deal, stating that Russia will comply once its side of the deal is completed. Meanwhile, the U.S. will also work with other countries to still guarantee the movement of grain from Ukraine. Back to you, Kathy.
Thank you, Annie Reyes, reporting live from Singapore. We'll share more global stories with you later, but for now, back to you, William.
Thank you, Kathy. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook. The Philippine government failed to convince the International Court, or ICC, to stop its investigation over the war on drugs of the Duterte administration. Dante Amento tells us why.
The International Criminal Court, or ICC Appeals Chamber, rejected the Philippines' appeal not to continue the investigation over the war on drugs of the previous administration. 2 judges want to terminate the investigation, but 3 ruled to allow the ICC prosecutor to resume the probe.
I would like to state that it is rejected by the appeal chamber by majority, and that the impugned decision is therefore confirmed.
But the ICC Appeals Chamber clarified the decision is not over the issue of jurisdiction, but the Philippine government's challenge to stop the investigation has unclear details. The government asserted in its appeal brief that ICC has no jurisdiction over the Philippines after its withdrawal in 2019.
The appeal chamber by majority, I and Judge Orquipenidze dissenting, finds that the Philippines sets out the alleged errors in a manner that renders unclear both the precise nature of its challenge as well as the legal basis pursuant to which the challenge is made. The appeal chamber by majority observes that the impugned decision does not constitute a decision with respect to jurisdiction.
Meanwhile, the Office of the Solicitor General is disappointed over the ICC Appeals Chamber judgment. It allegedly refused to recognize the Philippines' primary and sovereign right to investigate serious crimes, but they believe that there are still opportunities or legal remedies for the country.
In the event that the prosecution concluded its investigations and went on to issue an arrest warrant, the government would still be able to intervene and assert that the court does not have jurisdiction, and that would be another appropriate time to assert its sovereign rights and to limit the court's ability and reach in that respect.
Dante Amento, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The National Telecommunications Commission has reiterated that they will no longer give another extension for SIM registrations. Meanwhile, the agency already reached the 61.6% of active SIMs that has complied with registration. Gladys Tawabi will tell us why.
The National Telecommunications Commission, or NTC, reminds the public that SIM cards which failed to register by July 25, 2023 will be deactivated. According to the agency, they will not provide any extensions for SIM registration.
Kapag hindi po na-register yung SIM, made-deactivate po yung SIM. Kung associated po sa SIM na yon o sa number na yon yung inyong e-wallet, ay momentarily hindi nyo rin po ito magagamit. Hindi naman po mawawala yung laman po ng mga e-wallets nila. Hindi lamang po nila ma-access kung yung e-wallet account nila ay naka-associate doon sa SIM na hindi po nila ni-register.
Currently, the NTC recorded 103,519,000 registered subscribers. This is equivalent to 61.6% of the total active SIMs in the country.
Iparehistro na po yung SIM po nila para they won't undergo the hassle po na ma-deactivate yung SIM at pati po yung mga accounts na associated doon. At ito po namang SIM registration ay ginagawa po natin para po sa seguridad po ng ating mga kababayan para mabawasan po yung mga scam text at messages na natatanggap po nila.
NTC says they have reached its target of 100 million registrations, but they hope to increase this number as the deadline approaches. Gladys Tawabi, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Department of Transportation, or DOT, stated that the new supply of blank metal plates intend to resolve the backlogs for license plates since 2016. JP Nunez will tell us why.
More than 100,000 pieces of blank metal plates arrived in the Land Transportation Office, or LTO, earlier today, July 18. It was delivered by the winning bidder to Rojan and Tonjes joint venture. Based on the agreement, the company will deliver more than 16 million pieces of blank metal plates for the next 20 months. They have committed to deliver at least 60,000 pieces per week. According to Department of Transportation, or DOTR Secretary Jaime Bautista, the new supply will be used to address the backlogs of license plates since 2016. It was the green plates from motor vehicles which will be changed to white plates with black characters, and also the 3 million backlogs for motor vehicles.
Itong dadating na itong pangpuno natin to sa mga previous backlog that start pa in 2016.
The DOTR aims to address all the backlogs until the end of the year.
Also po yung ating plate-making machines, plate-making shop, ipilitin natin ma-resolve ikaw within the year.
The procured 16 million pieces of blank metal plates cost around 3.8 billion pesos, which is smaller than the previously estimated amount of 5.2 billion pesos. It can be recalled that the previous LTO administration said their supply of metal blank plates will be depleted by June and this month. JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Houston, Texas confirmed its initial heat-related fatality when a 67-year-old man identified as Victor Ramos succumbed due to extreme heat while at home on June 24 due to lack of air conditioning. Ramos, unemployed since March, couldn't afford to repair his broken AC unit. While nearby in Pearland, another Texan, Felipe Pascal, 46, died on June 16 after suffering cardiac arrest while pouring concrete on a construction site. Texas has already seen 14 heat-related deaths this year by June, with 306 fatalities linked to high temperatures last year. California continues to grapple with triple-digit temperatures leading to critical wildfire conditions. The recent heat dome is expected to ease by Tuesday, but dry vegetation poses ongoing fire risks. Several fires have already been ignited over the weekend, including the Rabbit Fire covering over 8,000 acres located in Southern California and Pico Fire affecting 650 acres near the Yosemite National Park. Firefighters face additional challenges amid the heat, wearing heavy gear and carrying equipment in scorching conditions. California witnessed heat records being broken, with Mount Shasta reaching 100 degrees Fahrenheit and Barstow hitting 116 degrees Fahrenheit. Death Valley reached 128 degrees Fahrenheit, falling just short of the record of 130 degrees Fahrenheit. The strongest category of solar flares known to have the potential to cause worldwide transmission problems and blackouts could be emitted this week, according to scientists from the United States and Russia. Marvin Delphine tells us why.
When the powerful magnetic fields in and around the sun reconnect, solar flares happen and can affect Earth's magnetic field. This phenomenon can result in damage to satellites and communications equipment. On Sunday, July 16, 3 solar flares were observed by the Fedorov Institute of Applied Geophysics in Moscow, with one lasting 14 minutes, causing disruption in radio communication. The Fedorov Institute now forecasts more solar flares to occur and warns of the possibility of Class X flares, including proton flares. Proton flares are a storm of solar energetic particles, mainly of protons, while X-class flares are known to be the largest explosions in the solar systems and can produce long-lasting radiation storms. X-class flares similar to the one seen back in 2003 can also give airline passengers flying near the poles small radiation doses. In 2022, 40 newly launched SpaceX satellites were knocked out by a geomagnetic storm triggered by an enormous burst of radiation. NASA highlights that solar flares have become bigger and more common every 11 years. Though mostly not dangerous to humans on Earth, long signal blackouts could impact radios used for emergency communications. Additionally, the flare radiations can be harmful to astronauts outside of Earth's atmosphere and the technology we rely on. Marvy Delphine, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I'm Kathy Navarro, live from Vietnam. Good evening.
The food stamp program of the Department of Social Welfare and Development has been launched today, July 18. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. himself led the pilot run to 50 Filipino families. Bernadette Tinoy will tell us why.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and the Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, launched the pilot run of food stamp program today, July 18. DSWD announced that 50 families from Tondo, Manila has acquired electronic benefit transfer or EBT cards which contain food credits that will use to buy rice, fruits, and vegetables in Kadiwa stores.
Ito na muna, pang tiding over, habang naghihirap pa. Pero I think that as quickly as possible, lalo ng Pilipino, naging experience ko, ay silang hanggat makahanap ng trabaho, talagang yun ang gagawin kagad.
The fund came from Asian Development Bank or ADB and World Food Program or WFP for the pilot testing, which worth around $3 million or approximately 163 million pesos.
We will be able to sustain ito for as long as we need it. But kagaya ng aking lagi sinasabi, dahan-dahan sana maayos na natin yung ibang sitwasyon para hindi na nangangailangan ng tulong.
DSWD announced that they target 3,000 families with below income of 8,000 pesos for the pilot implementation and will further expand to 300,000 families next year to 1 million families in 2026. Pilot areas include Cagayan Valley, Bicol, and Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao or BARM. Bernadette Tinoy, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
A low-pressure area in the Philippine Area of Responsibility or PAR is now approaching the country. As of 3 p.m., it was located 810 kilometers east of northeastern Mindanao. The trough of the low-pressure area is affecting the Caraga and Davao regions. The southwest monsoon is also affecting Zambales and Bataan. These areas will experience scattered rain showers and thunderstorms. Metro Manila and the rest of the country will experience isolated rain showers and thunderstorms. The National Cardiopulmonary Resuscitation or CPR Day was celebrated today with a nationwide CPR campaign at the Baguio City National High School. Grace Flores details why.
There were more than 250 participants who have registered for the celebration of the National CPR or Cardiopulmonary Resuscitation Day in Baguio City. It was attended by different sectors of the community like photographers, businessmen, secretaries, housekeeping, security, clerical, accounting, social workers, medical and RadTech students, nurses, and doctors. The 5 C's of CPR are check, call, cover, compress, and connect. This event encourages lay people to learn and have the confidence to do a CPR for out-of-hospital cardiac arrest.
In cases na may emergencies, madali lang po natin silang matutugunan yung mga pangangailangan nila. Tapos, inform din po yung tao, saka yung komunidad. I advise na dapat alam nila yung mga hotline numbers na pwede nilang tawagan para mas timely at mas mabilis po ang pagresponde ng mga responders.
Meanwhile, to enable media practitioners stay safe while working, Bureau of Fire Protection La Trinidad Benguet offered a one-day basic life support and first aid training session today, July 18. A media practitioner should be conscious of where he is or have the most tools available to him to know what to do, said Jordan Tablac, president of the Philippine Nationalist Cordillera Press Corps.
The purpose of this project para mabigyan ng additional knowledge or additional tool ang ibang mga media practitioners dahil pag panahon ng kalamidad like bagyo or lindol, kailangan din nating tumulong at mag-assess sa ating surroundings kasi hindi natin alam na dahil sa may pangangailangan din yung mga ibang tao na nadisgrasya, with our basic knowledge sa life support.
BFP La Trinidad teach the basics how to approach someone who may be injured, whether conscious or unconscious. They advise member of the media to approach a wounded or injured person by calling out his or her name if known. If not, with a generic greeting, then gentle tap on arm or leg, progressing to a loud tap on the shoulder if there is still no response. First aid for soft tissue injuries, bleeding, sprain, dislocation were also on the agenda. Grace Flores, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Senate leadership vows to perform its oversight functions now that the controversial Maharlika Investment Fund, or MIF, has been signed into law. Senate President Juan Miguel Mig-Zubiri reassures the public that the law has enough safeguards to prevent potential abuse and corruption.
It will take time. Kasi siyempre yung projects, di ba, itinatayo yan for several years. Definitely, next admin will be benefiting from the Maharlika Investment Fund. So, napaka-exciting po ng pondo ito, properly implemented. Let's hope that the President will assign a good management team.
But Senator Mark Villar, the author of the bill in the Senate, believes otherwise.
As soon as magsisimula yung investment ng Maharlika, mararamdaman na natin. So as early as maybe early next year, siguro mararamdaman na natin yung effect ng Maharlika.
Meanwhile, the Senate minority bloc expressed dismay on the signing of the controversial measure. Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel calls the law a bad idea, a bad decision, and a bad act. Senate Deputy Minority Leader Risa Ontiveros also remains firm that the country does not need the MIF law. In a tweet, Bayan Muna Chairman Neri Colmenares said they will file a petition against the law before the Supreme Court.
It is beyond us to pass a law that we feel is unconstitutional. Ibig sabihin yan, we did a poor job and we did a bad job in passing these laws. So, safe to say, in my opinion, the Maharlika Investment Fund can withstand the scrutiny of the Supreme Court.
Our kasangbahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the various challenges and uncertainties, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International. I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. While safety measures like washing of hands and strengthening of our immune systems may help us through this horrible predicament, there is still no precaution or cure more powerful than God's mighty intervention. And we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
And before we close, we will leave you with the word giving glory to God from the book of Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 5. It says, "A righteous man hateth lying, but a wicked man is loathsome and cometh to shame." And those are the reasons behind the news, July 18, 2023. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. And because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am William Theo. We serve the people. We give glory to God.